So our last day of instruction here while you guys are at home is solving linear inequalities. So just similar to yesterday, but now we have these inequality symbols and some of them we have to graph on a number line. So for this one, we're going to treat it just as if that was an equal sign. We're going to minus 76 from both sides. So I would have 9d is less than or equal to, and 94 minus 76 would be 18, and then I have to divide by 9. So d is less than or equal to 2. Now I do want to point out this right here where I divided by 9. If that's a positive, or sorry, not a positive. If that is a negative and you multiply or divide by it, doesn't matter which one, then you need to flip the sign. So you might come across some problems that have that. So instead of being d is less than or equal to, it would be greater than or equal to for your answer if that number you multiply or divide by is negative. So in this case, we didn't have to worry about that. All right, then they're going to give you these ones, these compound inequalities. So basically, they're two problems. So they're separate at the or. So here is the first problem, and you solve that one. That's a divide by 9, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 9. So I'm going to have negative b plus 45 is greater than 72. Then I'm going to minus 45. So I'm going to have negative b is greater than, to do some math here, negative b is greater than 27, and that negative sign is just like a negative 1, so we're going to have to divide by negative 1. And when I divide by a negative, I have to flip that sign. So I get b is less than negative 27. Then we have to go over here and solve this inequality. So I have a negative 35b on the left and a negative 48b on the right. So I'm going to get rid of that one because it's smaller. So these guys would cancel. And the negative 35 and 48 would be 15b plus 43. That's not right. It would be 13b is greater than 95. And then minus 43 from both sides. So we have 13b is greater than 52. And then I have to divide by 13. So I get b is greater than 4. And then we bring this or down. So this one has two answers. B is less than negative 27 or b is greater than 4. This one, it says plot the endpoints and then select an endpoint to change it from closed to open, and then select the middle of the segment or line to delete it. So if you make a mistake, you just click on the line and it will erase. You can click on the endpoint, the dot part, to change it from being open or closed. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this one down here so I have room to solve it. We're going to minus 26 times 12 is less than or equal to 3r. And then I'm going to divide by 3. So I have r, and then I have 4. I'm going to flip that around. I have my r and the 4, and notice the inequality symbol is open towards the r, so I'm going to keep it that way. So I'm going to put a dot at 4. And then since this is underlined, it's including the 4. So we got to fill in the 4. And then r is greater than or equal to 4, and greater than goes this way. So we're going to want it to shade this direction. And then one last type of question you're going to see is where you have two inequality symbols. So it's going to be kind of like a double upside down T problem here. since I see two 33y's, I'm going to subtract, they're both positive, so I'm going to subtract so that they cancel out. And I have to do that in all spaces. So this would cancel and I'd be left with negative 26 is greater than or equal to, this would be negative 2y plus 40. Bring the sign down here. Those would cancel and I'd be left with negative 30. Now, in the middle, we want to get rid of that minus 40 first, or that plus 40, so we're going to minus it. Subtract it from all spots. Here, that's going to be negative 66. The 40s cancel, so just the negative 2y left. Bring our sign down, and that would be negative 70. Then we have to divide by negative 2. So 66 divided by, that would be a positive 33. We divided by a negative here, so we're going to have to flip our signs. 2's would cancel out, we'd have y. Again, flip that sign, and 70 divided by 2 would be 35, and two negatives make a positive. So y is greater than or equal to 33, and y is also less than 35. So our answer is a compound inequality with two inequalities put together.